Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss Men in Black 3, starring Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones, Josh Brolin, Jermaine Clement, Michael Stuhlbarg, Alice Eve, Bill Hader, Roche, Emma Thompson, and Mike Coulter, and directed by Barry Sonnenfeld. Now, I remember seeing this in theaters a couple of times, actually. What do I think of it then? Well, let's get into it. The movie opens with a girl visiting Boris the animal, played by Jermaine Clement, and brings him a cake with the creature who's Boris's right-hand creature, I guess I'll say, which did look like a scorpion, and he's so full of that one line, "Let's agree to disagree," which did kind of bug me, the living daylights out of me, and he's an annoying villain of this movie. Agent J, returned by Will Smith, and Agent K, returned by Tommy Lee Jones, have a rocky relationship, and it's soured in my mouth. Zed is gone, and his funeral was a brief scene with a brief speech from Agent K. And O, played by Emma Thompson, who I kind of didn't like at first as the character, but she was a little sour for me. But I do like the actress in general. And the fight in the Chinese restaurant was over the top, bad, and K and J encounter Boris the animal, and K realizes he's dead, and K is being portrayed by Tommy Lee Jones. I don't like anymore because he's very one-note, and thank God we spend little time with him. K goes back in time to J, and J feels it, comes to the MIB the next day, and Double A, played by Will Arnett, comes in and slaps Jay's booty, and that was freaking awkward. And I didn't like his cameo here, Will Arnett I'm talking about. Jay finds a way to time travel and finds the man to do it, and he travels to July 15th, 1969, as he jumps off of a building, and he arrives on the particular day, and this time travel thing is very difficult to explain. And when I get to Terminator later this year, you'll see what I mean. I had problems with this movie even in 1969. Jay finds a younger K, played by Josh Brolin, at a carnival, and I'm impressed with Josh Brolin as a young Tommy Lee Jones, and he sounds just like him, too. And it's so impressive of the performance by Josh Brolin, and I think he's a good actor. Jay tells younger K about his future with Boris the animal, and younger K takes Jay to a bowling alley, which was rather too tacky of a scene, to an Andy Warhol party, and Andy, played by Bill Hader, calls Jay a dumbass, as he finds Griffin, played by Michael Stuhlbarg, who I reviewed so many times in... and we'll review him again in this movie this summer. And I like his character, and as he can tell his own future and sees it minutes before it happens. Boris the animal grabs Griffin, and Jay and younger K go after them, which did feel tedious, and Boris the animal crashes in. The Men in Black have Griffin, and the two Boris the animals arguing and roaring at each other is very distracting of a scene. Jay and younger K go to Florida and the rocket launch and tell the truth about the alien invasion coming in the future. So they have to put on alien metal on top of the rocket, and one Boris the animal attacks Jay, and one attacks younger K. Yes, there's still two. Jay goes back in time and relives the end of the fight as he wins the fight, and so does younger K. And younger K helps a young boy named James, who will grow up to be Will Smith. And that was a nice way to end the 1960s era, in my opinion. Jay comes back and sees K at a diner, where Jay had pie and the younger K earlier in the film. And K tips the diner, and the movie ends like the score. I like the score, but the scene didn't impress me in general. Now it's time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 4.7 out of 10. Better than part 2, but not quite as good as the first one. I had some problems with it, and it's a shame because depending on the new movie, the second best does this on the new movie, this second best, but it's not as good of a movie, and I can't recommend it in general. So I would like to thank you guys for joining me, and next week I will be back with Men in Black International. And until next time, and we dress in black.